So now that we are in the summer break, I thought we should do my mid-season driver ratings. You guys still care, right? And there's nothing the F1 community loves more than hearing someone's totally unbiased opinion on the sport. Bonus points if they live in the US. So let's go and do this. By the way, just to clear it up, I waited till now to do this and not after Britain because, hey man, I need content for the summer break, so deal with it. Plus, I have 2 more races in my bag compared to everyone else, so these are really fresh opinions. And you guys love them, right? Given how you guys so kindly responded to my Lando versus Oscar video, I'm sure you guys still love my opinion, right? You always loved my opinion because my opinion is the only one that matters. What I say is true and will always be true. Reject your thoughts and only accept me. Sorry guys. Anyways, let's talk about how these rankings will go. I'll be using a tier list for this video since they're genuinely the best way to rank, but I'll also give the courtesy of giving a number score for each driver going from 1 through 10. Think of it like this. F tier is 0 to 2 out of 10, B tier is 3 to 4 out of 10, C tier is 5 to 6 out of 10, B tier is 7 to 8 out of 10, A tier is 9 to 9.5 out of 10, and S tier is perfect, so 10 out of 10. So these should be fun given how every driver has been equally amazing and garbage this year, so I'm sure everyone's view won't be skewed or biased. Because remember, reject your thoughts. My opinion is true and the only one that matters. Also, shout out to this guy for the tier list. I hope both sides of their pillows cold tonight. So go join the Discord to share your ratings and subscribe if you're new because I told you so. So enough yapping and let's make people mad.
A good weather for a race, but especially for a talk.
By the way, I forgot to mention this, but we'll go in order of the standings, and starting us off, we have my poor sweet summer child, Jack Doohan. Or I guess not summer, since this man was dropped in the spring, which, can you believe it, man? Genuinely hang Flavio Briatore and Oliver Oak, since why was he dropped after 6 fucking races? I mean, I'll give them props, it wasn't 5, which was supposed to be the number, so surely that's gotta count for something. Anyways, to no one's surprise, Jack Doohan was the worst driver this year, but I absolutely do not blame him. Even before the season started, in goddamn January, mind you, there were already rumors and reports saying how Alpine are looking to drop him for Franco Colapinto, and this should be illegal, man. Imagine getting hired at a new job and everyone immediately wants you gone because they see you as a pointless endeavor since everyone's getting less hours because you were hired, even though the manager was hiring in the first place when she knew she didn't need to, but they don't care since the management only wants work done through the exploitation of its workers and no one questions it because the management was able to make the previous workers believe you, the new hire, were the problem and not the higher ups who made the bad conditions in the name of exploitation in the first place because the government. I'm getting sidetracked. Jack Doohan has been awful this year, so an F tier he goes and a big whopping 2 score he gets, but I absolutely do not blame him, nor do I think that's his skill level at all. Next up though is another Alpine driver, and somehow not the last since we have Franco Colapinto here. Has anyone seen this man? He's not really been showcased all that much since he joined unless he crashes, and yeah, I just don't have a lot to say about him. He is marginally better than Doohan and did actually have a somewhat decent weekend in Hungary where he outperformed Gasly, but not like it got him any points. So yeah, I just don't have lots to say about him, so he gets a D tier and a 3 out of 10 since at least he's not binning at the same rate and is really just slow, not bad necessarily. Now we have a rookie who isn't an Alpine, Ollie Behrman. We take a huge jump in ratings by the way, since Ollie has been pretty damn good this year. He only has 8 points, however, he's always finishing like P11 or P12 and just missing that final 10th in the car to consistently score points every weekend. He has been actually really good this year by keeping quiet and doing the best he can. However, when he has made mistakes, they have been catastrophic, such as like the 3 10 plays grip penalties or something he has accumulated this year. But if has to upgrade the car just a little bit more or can find the optimal setup more often, then Behrman will definitely cook. He has been equal to Ocon, if not ahead, for most weekends, so he is doing a very lovely job in that car. So I would say Ollie gets a C tier for now, but it could be much higher by season's end. And for his number score, I think a nice 6 out of 10 is in order for him for now. Now for Yuki Tsunoda, and let's stop babying him, guys. Liam and Yuki have performed pretty similar in Red Bull, so stop acting surprised when people treat Yuki as shit as they did with Liam. Now, Yuki wasn't as bad as Liam in the car, but it's not like he's super better in the car. If Liam was finishing in P17 and getting out in Q1, Yuki is finishing P14 and getting out in Q2. Still shit in the Red Bull, and I know what you might say. Yuki doesn't have an equal car to Max. Well, neither did Checo or Liam, but clearly that did not stop your shit talking, so don't pretend to care now that it's Yuki. Plus, Yuki has been here for 4 years now. He is not a rookie, and he said that he liked the RB21, so while I believe that yes, Yuki doesn't have an equal car to Max, he still shouldn't perform as badly as he is right now. So I'm afraid to say it, I'm gonna give Yuki a flat out comfortable D tier. And then for his number score, I would say a 3 out of 10 is appropriate for him as it stands. Now for Gabriel Bortoleto, another rookie who has been awesome. Now it must be addressed that his early part of the year, specifically the first quarter of races, were pretty horrible for him. It was filled with spins and other mishaps and led to me believing he was just another overhyped talent. However, thankfully I was proven wrong, since this man is great. After Spain, he entered new elements as he started massively equaling Nico and even outperforming him like in Hungary. This is a huge jump in performance for him, and something tells me that this is not just form, this is class that is finally being shown after some time adjusting to the car. I would give him another C tier similar to Ollie, and for his number score, I would give him a 6 out of 10, but the potential is there just like with Behrman. Next up is Carlos Sainz though, who shockingly is having a pretty rough go of it. You know what this reminds me of? When Ricardo joined McLaren, everyone and their mothers, yes, your mother, said that Big Rick was gonna dick down Lando and show him what a real driver is, but instead, Lando bitched Ricardo so hard, he got paid millions to leave the team. And would you blame me if I said I'm getting the same exact vibes with Sainz and Albon? Everyone, even me, believed that Albon would brutally get murdered by Carlos, but instead, it's the exact opposite, and I don't know why. It really is as simple as he doesn't like the car and needs a more Bodian understeery so he could drive the car optimally. And he wonders why Ferrari ditched him. His performances this year fluctuate a lot. One week he's happy in P8, the next one he's jerking off with Lance at P15. So I would give Sainz a low C tier since at least he has proven he can score points, but it's a low one. And for his number score, I would give him a 5 out of 10. Just disappointing. Anyways, we next have one of the most divisive drivers this season, Liam Lawson. I say this because those first 2 races, man, you would think Liam killed his family on 100 puppies, when in reality, this guy was just finishing P17. And after he was dropped by Red Bull after a grand total of 2 races, I truly thought Liam was cooked for the season, but maybe he isn't. As of late, since Monaco really, Liam has looked much better and each weekend is becoming better than the last. And this is great to see since Liam is a driver who rightfully deserves his place here. He has proved that he has what it takes to win in the front in any car, so it's good to see his confidence is back. However, we are not forgetting his performances before Monaco, since this man was on par with De Vries and shitness. Every week had a crash or a P16 placement, so yeah, he still has work to do to reestablish himself. I'll give Liam a low C tier for now, but I could totally see him in the B tier by season's end. As for his number score, I'll say Liam gets a 5 out of 10 with lots of room for improvement. But make no mistake, if he never improved after Imola, he would be like a 1 out of 10, but thankfully, he is performing again. Next up though, we have Pierre Gasly, who has been absolutely phenomenal this year. What he is doing in that Alpine should give him the highest honor seen by any man. That car for the better part of the year has been the slowest on the grid, yet Gasly is dragging that French Baskin-Robbins to Q3s and points finishes. I mean, I kind of feel bad for Colapinto and Doohan since they look so much worse compared to Gasly. And what makes it funnier too is that Gasly was once in that same exact spot at Red Bull. Now I've become Verstappen, the destroyer of teammates. But yeah, Pierre has been good with the exception of races like Monaco or Canada, but still, he has been amazing. So Pierre goes into the B tier, and for his number score, I say he gets a cool 7 out of 10. Following one Frenchman to another, we have Isaac Hadjar, who you could debate is the best rookie this year, sure, but he's undeniably the biggest surprise this year. Very few people had any hope for him since he seemed like a desperate hiring for Red Bull, and after Australia, yeah, I don't blame them for thinking that, but ever since China, this man has been cooking. I'm talking Gordon Ramsay cooking, I'm talking SpongeBob SquarePants cooking, and he puts in performance after performance. Sure, he has had some weekends where he struggled, but he is a rookie, and what he's currently doing is so good, man. He has many points finishes and brilliant qualifying results, and if it weren't for that first race in Melbourne or the crash in Silverstone, he would genuinely have a near flawless beginning so far. So I would give Isaac another B tier, and for his number score, another 7 out of 10. Moving on though, we have Lance Stroll, who in terms of Lance Stroll seasons, he's been alright. He's done nothing really stupid this season and has actually put in some good performances like in Australia, Britain, and Hungary, but he still should go that bit faster. We'll really have to see how he fares after the summer break since Aston looked good again, but for this first half, he's been fine, just a bit slow, but at least he's not causing crashes out the wazoo or being offensively slow for the most part. So I would say for now, he gets a low C tier, and for his number score, I would give him a 5 out of 10. Next up though, we have his teammate, Fernando Alonso. Now let's get this one out the way. he's not the same driver he was in even 2023. I definitely feel like his racing ability has taken a bit of a knock this year since he has been involved in more stupid accidents. I mean, Australia, he crashed pretty out of character. Miami, he was getting bullied. China, he DNF'd. He has had bad performances, but for the most part this year, he has still been very good. He is still fast. He still knows how to extract more from the car. He is still very good. And ever since Imola, I would say he's been great. He's been doing the maximum ever since then, and it has resulted in amazing points, such as literally last race in Hungary. So I think it's fair to say GOAT still has it for now, which makes me put him in the B tier and give him a lovely 7.5 out of 10. Now for the top 10s in the standings, and we begin with Esteban Ocon. Ocon has been massively underrated this season. Most of his faults this year aren't really his own doing, since Haas certainly have their issues this year, but when they are not that prevalent and are actually fast, Esteban just gets it and performs really sweet. He of course had an amazing P5 finish in China and for the Belgian sprint, along with a couple of other nice points. And can I just say that Esteban is probably one of the most disrespected drivers of all time. Like, with the way people talk about him, you would think he is Lance Stroll, but no, he was one of the fastest juniors the feeder series had ever seen, and despite any issues with awareness he has had, he has done his best to fix them, and recently, he is probably one of the cleanest drivers on the grid. So enough with the Ocon hate, that's so last year. He gets a B tier from me and another 7 out of 10 from me. Next up, we have Nico Hülkenberg, who is having one of his best seasons yet at 37, nearly 38. Hulk had a fantastic start of the season with the P7 finish in Australia, then his Saubered for a while, but after upgrades in Spain were brought, this man has been cooking. I'm talking Gordon Ramsay cooking. We already did this. He got a P5 in Spain, followed by a P8 and P9 in Canada and Austria respectively, and of course, that wonderful podium in Silverstone. He is just extracting performance out of nowhere in that car, and it makes me excited for next year with Audi. That's if they're even good, which I suspect not. But Hulk has been hulking it this year, so he gets a high B tier with an 8 out of 10. Next up though, we have Alex Albon, who proved everyone wrong. Everyone was saying how Albon is shit because Colapinto last year was matching him, but he silenced all those foul mouths by simply being good. That start of the season he's had, my word. My guy was playing with the Mercedes and Ferraris while Sainz was complaining about his skill in P15. While Williams have since fallen off, Albon sure hasn't, since before he DNF'd in races like Austria and Canada, he was running pretty well and is just missing that performance that used to be in the car. However, let's be real, he's not without his fault, since races like Hungary or Monaco were not exactly good on his part to say the least. So I'll give Albon another B tier and a 7.5 out of 10 score. Now for the top 4 teams, and we begin with Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Baby Go has had his struggles this year, which have been very low. However, he's also had his successes, which have been very high. To me, it's clear he's a rookie since he's showing major promise while also sucking major asshole, which just means he needs more time, support, and confidence. And once he does have enough of those and is able to start minimizing his mistakes, then we will see him for the driver he truly is. Like, truthfully, I don't think he was rushed into F1. However, definitely rushed to Mercedes, but Toto needs to treat him well now, since dropping him will only ruin his development and maybe his career. So while Kimi has had low lows, he's also had very high highs, like in Miami with the pole and Canada with the podium. So I would give Baby Go a C tier for now and a 6.5 out of 10. Now for the top dogs this year, and we first have Lewis Hamilton. Please, Lewis, please prove it was just the regs. I love Lewis Hamilton. He's one of the major reasons I became a fan of the sport, but my word, I can't see him continue like this. He has not been that bad this year, truthfully, and I wouldn't even call him mid in general. It's just that when he enters a slump, he doesn't really perform, which thankfully isn't every weekend, but it seems like we can't go 3 in a row without one of them. Plus, you really get the feeling that sometimes Lewis just isn't as fast as he once was, and I'm not talking about as fast as in 2021. I'm talking about years like 2023 at his highest, since you have races like in Silverstone where it's kind of comical he didn't catch up to Nico and wasn't on that podium. I'm sure that this issue is 100% because he hasn't adjusted yet to Ferrari, which I don't blame him since he was at Merc for 12 years, but it's still an issue regardless. I'll give Lewis a C tier and a 6.5 out of 10 score, but this could drop if nothing changes now to the end of the year, since others will certainly get better. Next up, we have his teammate, Charles Leclerc. Man, oh man, where do I begin? Charles, to me, has been top 3 driver of the season, flat out. What he is doing in that car is absolutely generational. That car should not set the podium, yet Charles is doing it. In Hungary, he even got pole in it and was genuinely going to win the race before the car decided to break down. His only true bad weekend this year, in my opinion, was in Silverstone, where he and the team got it wrong, but every weekend has been good and most have been great. It's just a shame that this car and this team cannot deliver wins for him, since in a just world, Charles would have way more wins than 8. It's sad too, because to the unsuspecting fan, they would think Charles is a bottler, but don't understand that this man gets a season's worth of bad luck in one race. And again, it's just sad. Not to mention how most of his Ferrari cars burn the tires so hilariously quick. So while he is unlucky, man is he good, so he gets a high A tier with a 9 out of 10. Next up though, we have George Russell, who also, like Charles, has been top 3 for me. George, I would say, is 100% ready now. If next year he gets a car capable of winning the title, and as we saw in Charles's case, a team that is also competent enough to win the title, George will bag that shit in the bag. Add that to the words of wisdom. Nearly every weekend he has been as flawless as he could be, especially in the beginning parts of the season before Mercedes fell off, since he was the P3 cuck of the season. And after that win in Canada, I really thought we were about to see Mercedes fully back into the fray, but nope, they sucked hard in Austria, Silverstone, and Spa, and even though in Hungary he was on the podium, that's only because the track became colder than the Arctic, which of course brought the Merc car into play. So he really suffers the same as Charles in the sense that the only thing holding them back is the car and the team, but if they are ever given the car and the team, they will win the title. So I'm actually going to give George a higher A tier, but still with the score of 9 out of 10. Now for the top 3 in the standings, and we first have Max Verstappen. Max, in my opinion, has been the best driver this season. That Red Bull car has been second fastest for most of the season. However, it's not exactly like it's within touching distance of the MCL 39, yet Max has 2 wins and many poles where he just dunked on them. Max truly is a legend of the sport now, and his performances reflect that, since even in races where Red Bull were not second fastest and actually pretty slow, Max still drains every single bit out of time out of that car, and it's brutal when you compare it to his teammates. I would go as far to say Max is 10 out of 10 this season, but I cannot, since he has had lows, and man are they really low and really embarrassing. The one that sticks out to me is Spain, since my man nearly spun at his own fault and then tried to kill George after that. What are you doing, man? Plus in Silverstone, yeah, I know he was on the wrong setup, but still, spinning like that is pretty damn embarrassing, and I would personally leave the country if that happened to me. So while those lows plus the vast array of preventable penalties are really holding him back, man has his highs this year been unrivaled, so he gets a higher A tier placement and another 9 out of 10. Now for our championship contenders, and we have Lando Norris. Looking at his season, how he has driven, it should be illegal to have championship contender and Lando Norris in the same sentence. He has been inconsistent to say the least. Australia was a great win, along with Monaco, but most of his other wins have a big asterisk to them. Austria, he had the aid of traffic. Silverstone, he had the aid of Piastri's stupidity. And in Hungary, he bottled the start so hard he got put on the winning strategy. Plus, he had races like in Jeddah, where he struggled to overtake on a straight, Canada, where he rear-ended Piastri, Bahrain, where he got dogged on by Russell, China, where he bottled every session, Spain, where he was slow, Japan, where he bottled, Miami, where he got dogged on by Max. Must I continue? He is really only saved by the fact that when he isn't bottling, he is clear above the rest, but that's so rare, and it's just sad that this is the state of the title fight. I'm enjoying the title fight, but it's purely out of comedic purposes, since this is really just a competition now for the worst champion since 2009. So I'm going to give Lando a B tier and a 7 out of 10 score, since you should not be struggling at bottling like this, man. Not after 6 years with the team when we know you could do much better. And finally, we have the current championship leader, Oscar Piastri. If my video talking about the title fight is anything to go by, then I need to only praise Piastri because he can do no wrong. But my sweet summer child, that is not the case. Now, Piastri has not struggled anywhere near as much as Norris, but he has still made mistakes and won races this year where he had no competition, not because he was that fast, but because his teammate was that slow. Piastri winning a race in that car is not some magical feat, it's just what's expected of him in a car full tenths above the rest. And no, Piastri fans, when Lando wins a race, that's not because they favored him, that's just because your driver was beat or did a crucial mistake. Most Piastri wins this year have truthfully been nothing special. He just overtakes one car and wins by a big gap. He's not lapping the field by tenths or seconds. He's not wringing the neck out of the car. He is just driving and winning, or sometimes just driving and disappointing, since he had races like in Japan where he couldn't get by Lando despite claiming he's faster. He had races like Monaco where he crashed all weekend long and crawled in the race to a podium, Canada where he was just slow flat out with no excuse given the car, and Britain where after doing a dumb mistake asked the team to swap the places back after serving a penalty. Brother, just catch him up. Plus, even in Hungary, he was in the most dominant car that week, yet he was being bitched on by Leclerc for half of the race and couldn't overtake Lando when he had a 15 tire lap advantage over him, way more than enough to overtake him. When Piastri wins, it's because everyone around him is either too busy with each other or because that car is 2 seconds faster while Lando was bottling. He does bottle less though, and he has been way more consistent and faster than his quote-unquote teammate, so I'm going to give him a high B tier placement and an A.5 out of 10 score for just doing what's literally expected of him. If you disagree with my list, argue with the wall. So those were my mid-season driver ratings this year. Remember, my opinion is the only opinion you should listen to and agree with, so get with the program. Reject your thoughts. What I say is true and only true. You love me and I love you. Anyways, I want to give a quick shout out to all members of the flock for the continued support. Make sure to join if you want cool benefits as well as just helping me out. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe since it really helps me out. Make sure to let me know in the comments what your ratings are. And as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.